I wanted to get on and talk about a couple of stories, or a few stories actually, that we hadn't really had a chance to talk about and that we needed to talk about. So shout out to you guys for rocking with us. Much love to the Wrench Gang, much love to the family, all the listeners, all the watchers. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Members of the family, make sure you do stick around for the end of the show. You guys know I had a giveaway for you, so make sure you stick around till the end of the show so you guys can have a chance to win your prize. So there you go. As far as Kyren Lacy, Mark Sanchez, and Jaxson Dart, we got a lot to get into. Now, the Kyren Lacy situation, we talked about it when it first happened. It was really unfortunate. We understand that someone lost their life, and Kyren Lacy was involved in it. Obviously, we move forward from that. He then unalives himself, and then now we get new news and we get new information in regards to the situation and the inconsistencies of it. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get into this one here, and we're going to break it down.
Police charged Kyren Lacy with negligent homicide back in January, saying his reckless driving led to this deadly crash. Lacy was never formally convicted because he died by suicide while waiting for his trial. Now, Lacy's attorney, remember we told you this last night, Lacy's attorney says he didn't do it. And he says this video you're about to see proves it. He says it shows Lacy was nowhere near the crash when it happened.
You're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacy come to a stop.
All right, so there's the accident. Let me just stop it here for a second and try to actually go back. So we see that the accident had already happened before Lacy drives. It looks like he's driving through the accident scene, or the scene of the accident. So at this point, it shows that he did not cause the accident, but we'll keep it going.
Lacy come to a stop.
That's that green car there, the green one seen at the end. Lacy's lawyer says he was more than 70 yards away from the crash when it happened. Now, the state police, they are putting out their own video today. This video, look at this. You can see Lacy's green Charger right here. Police say he drove illegally in the wrong lane when...
Okay, so now stopping it here, we do see that he's obviously driving fast. Now, the real question is, and this is where things are so convoluted and these things are so sensitive, we're not getting the full timeline. We're getting the videos, but we're not getting the full timeline as far as the situation. So what we're seeing is clips of this situation, and then we have to piece it together because it's not given to us in a proper timeline.
When other cars swerved out of the way, allegedly leading to the crash. Here's what one witness said, according to this new video.
Did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that going that way? There was a green Charger. That's a green Charger that caused all that. SRT8, he caused all that. He went to pass the cars way back there, sir.
And so now you got an eyewitness on the scene, obviously at the crash site. We see the vehicles in the crash there. We see someone saying that, hey, it was the green Charger. The green Charger was the cause of the accident. Now, let's piece this together. You have video of Kyren Lacy obviously speeding on the wrong side of the road. You see the accident in which his green Charger is not shown in the frame until well after the accident happens. And now you have an eyewitness on the scene who basically says, hey, it was the green Charger's fault. The green Charger is the reason why this happened. This is why there's so many problems as far as how this situation was handled and how Kyren Lacy came to his demise in this situation. We didn't have this video when the news broke, right? Nobody had this video until now. And so when we're told something or when we're given information, we're supposed to be able to go by the investigators and the people that have access to this information. And obviously we can't, because once again, the information is broken up and it's not given to us in its entirety the right way. Now, I did actually try to pull up here more of a breakdown as far as from the stories, and this gets a little bit more crazy. So it basically says a green Dodge Charger driven by former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy was involved in a fatal December 2024 crash. though it did not directly collide with the other vehicles. The Louisiana State Police determined that Lacy's reckless driving in the Charger was the trigger for the chain of events that led to the death of 78-year-old Herman Hall. The Charger in the accident, reckless operation. According to state police, Lacy was speeding and attempting to pass other vehicles in a no passing zone on Louisiana Highway 20. Triggered collision. As Lacy's Charger approached, a northbound truck braked and swerved to avoid a head-on collision. The vehicle behind the truck also swerved, entering the southbound lane and colliding with a third car. Hall was a passenger in that third car and died from his injuries. The problem is this isn't what happened in the video. So this information is what we've been given to by the media, but the video is proving completely opposite of what's being said or the narrative of what's being said. So now let's break it down what they have on ESPN, because this is where they talk about the inconsistencies. As far as ESPN, it says inconsistencies found in police report on LSU's Kyren Lacy. An investigator at the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office stated in a report released Wednesday that the car that crashed into vehicle and killed 78-year-old man was not facing an imminent head-on crash with the vehicle driven by former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy. Herman Hall passed away from his injuries hours after the December 17, 2024 accident, and the report estimates Lacy was driving a Dodge Charger 88 miles per hour heading southbound on Louisiana Highway 20 prior to the collision. So let's back up here. The report estimates Lacy was driving a Dodge Charger 88 miles per hour heading southbound on Louisiana Highway. How do you estimate he's going this fast? Was there radar? Was there anything tracking his speed? You don't have a viable source for the rate of speed he was going. Just because it looked fast doesn't mean it was going 88. But I'll stop there. Maybe someone can correct me about that. It then goes on to say the posted speed limit was 40 miles per hour. The report cites video that shows Lacy entering the northbound lane and passing 4 vehicles in a no passing zone. The report estimates that Lacy was back in the northbound lane 92.3 yards from the site of the accident before the crash occurred. So, there's a lot of holes in the story. And so now I have to be the one that come out and say, you know what? We jumped the gun when we first got the story for everyone who talked about it, right? Because we weren't given this information. So now we have a young man who's lost his life, who lost his future because of a situation that hadn't been explained correctly or hadn't been investigated correctly. And now at this point, the only people that get the correct answers or that get some kind of justice from it, if you could even call it justice, is his family. Now, that's not to say that if he was speeding, that it's okay. And that's not to say that if he was in a no passing lane or in the wrong lane, that that's okay. But if he didn't cause the accident, or if he wasn't a part of the accident and he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, then we villainize this man for doing something that he didn't do, and it cost him his life. And it's absolutely sad. It's absolutely sad. But we'll keep it going. It says, according to the report dated April 11, 2025, the driver of a pickup truck going northbound thought Kyren Lacy was going to hit him, so he pressed his brakes and turned right into a parking lot. The report states that the vehicle that crashed into a Hall, a Kia Cadenza, was traveling too close behind the pickup truck, which caused her to take evasive action to avoid hitting the back of the truck. The report also states that the driver of the Cadenza turned the wheel 75 degrees to the driver's side and into a collision with the car Hall was a passenger in. Lacy was cited with felony, negligent homicide, and hit-and-run driving, and misdemeanor reckless driving. The Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office had not formally charged Lacy and have been preparing to send the case to a grand jury for an indictment on April 14th. Lacy, 24, passed away April 12th in Houston of an apparent, as you see there on the screen, during a pursuit by authorities, according to Harris County Sheriff's report. Like I said, this is sad. And so I know it's very easy to say, hey, have your day in court, right? Have your day in court, get a lawyer. If you know you didn't do this, if you know you didn't cause this situation, then make sure that you've taken the necessary steps or you've taken the necessary procedure to prove your innocence. And it's, and I get it's different for Kyren because, hey, I'm supposed to be going to the NFL. I'm supposed to be living my dream. I did all the right things up until this point. And, that's where the recollection comes in for everyone who's talked about this story and has been following it. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame. And I think because we've seen this situation happen multiple times from various others and it actually be people involved in these accidents, right? We've seen it with other NFL players. So it was, it's easy for people to jump to those conclusions. Yeah, they did it. If they were involved, they most likely did it. And it just seems like, once again, this was a situation of Kyren Lacy was in the wrong place at the wrong time, driving stupidly, and just so happened to get caught up in the situation. So there you go. Let me hop into the chat. Shout out to you, Reverend. What up, man? What's going on with you? Sassy in the house. Ryan, what up, Ryan? Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to you, Daniel. Good to see you, Daniel. Says, yeah, who did the Browns trade today? The last thing I heard about the Browns was Flacco. That was the last thing I heard about the Browns was Flacco. I have to check on that. So yeah, there goes that story. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I'm missing something, obviously. But like I said, to me, it just seems like he's obviously in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was speeding. He was being reckless. And unfortunately, it cost him his life. So, Sassy says, most police and investigators are trained to determine speed without use of radar. That's why they say estimated speed. Yeah, I get it, but you can say anything then, right? Because if we're just guessing and a radar wasn't used or we're not tracking an actual speed, he could have been going 50, right? 50 and a 40, 50 and a 30, 35 can definitely look fast for sure. Does that mean he was going 88? I mean, when I look at the video, or if we go back to the video, I don't think he was going 88 down that road, but they did mention that he was, speeding on a highway. So that was completely unrelated to the situation. So it just seems like, they definitely cooked up the narrative as far as, hey, he was speeding, he was driving reckless on the highway, and then obviously he gets off, and then the situation happens. And so it ties him into it because he was there. So there you go. There you go. Shout out to you, Base. Yeah, Greg Newsom. Okay. I'll have to get into that one. We'll have to get into that one. Next up. Jaxson Dart. If you guys watched the Eagles and the Giants game, you've seen how ridiculous and how crazy that was in the situation. And then, Jaxson got hurt, or what you thought he got hurt. He went in for concussion protocol. Russell Wilson comes in for one series and he gets booed. He does absolutely terrible, incomplete passes. Nobody wants to see it. Brian Dable absolutely lost his mind. He wanted to basically close down the tent himself and make sure that Jaxson Dart was back out on that field. He was not having any kind of hurry up, bring him back out to the field. As we get into this one, y'all. Let's get into this one. So, yeah, you can't go in the tent, Brian Dable. We get it. This is your new, fresh quarterback. You want to make sure he's okay. But you got to let the NFL and the doctors and the trainers go the course and make sure that this kid's actually okay, right? They want to make sure that he's sound. They want to make sure that if he did take a shot, that he's not seeing stars, he's not having any kind of complications before he gets out there. We get you want to win this game. And to be honest, and there's no hate against the Eagles fans, we want to see the underdog win sometimes. And I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see Jaxson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, and this Giants team win. But you have to let things play out. Let's get into this one. It says the NFL initiated a review on the application of a concussion protocol used on quarterback Jaxson Dart during the second half of the New York Giants' 34-17 win over the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night. The league announced Friday that the review will be conducted jointly with the NFL Players Association under the parties' collective bargaining agreement. Coach Brian Daboll and the Giants could face discipline depending on the findings, a league source told ESPN. Discipline means he'll probably get fined. Dart grabbed at his head on the ground after taking a hit on a third quarter sack. He was taken to the blue medical tent to be evaluated for a concussion. Daboll approached the tent and poked in his head. Rookie running back Cam Scatterbo also went into the tent. You could tell it was definitely one of those situations. You good? You okay? You need anything? You need some juice? Listen, it was crazy. In fact, as many times as we've seen the concussion protocol, I don't remember a time where we've seen anybody, especially a coach, go into the tent. It was absolutely wild. Daboll was later seen talking in an animated fashion to the team physician, Dr. Scott Rodeo, on the sideline while awaiting word on whether Dart would be cleared and returned to the game. The coach said he wanted to find out if Dart was okay and decided whether to call a timeout and potentially go for it on fourth down if he was available. At this point, Russell Wilson was in. Listen, we get it. Daboll's on the hot seat. So Daboll's trying to make sure he does everything possible that he can to get wins so he can keep his job. We absolutely know what's going on in New York right now, or New Jersey for that matter. But at the same time, you can't do this, right? It's a league practice. You can't go into the tent as a coach. He's got to go through protocol. Because there's too many situations that can happen. If they pull them out early and they haven't ran the tests they need to and they haven't ran the protocol and something happens, who's on the hook then? Who's gonna take responsibility for that situation then? Are you gonna do it, Brian? That's why this situation can't happen, and unfortunately, that's why he's gonna get most likely fined. As we keep it going. It says Dart was eventually cleared and returned to the contest, but he missed the final two plays of that drive. Daboll said that Dart was in the Giants team facility Friday, but he didn't know yet how Dart was feeling. The players who undergo concussion tests during games are required to take another exam the following day. Daboll also said he hadn't specifically heard from the league yet. Yeah, I haven't, but I'll say this, like I said last night, I went in, didn't actually go in, just stuck my head in to know how our quarterback is doing. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you can't do it, Daboll. But that's his quarterback. He had to go make sure his boy was good because they needed that win. Let me get to the chat. Shout out to you base players. The Giants beat Eagles. Wild game. It was a crazy game. Shout out to Cam Scatterbo out there balling. Absolutely balling. Ryan says CTE Cam was in the tent when they were evaluating Dart. It was crazy. First it was Daboll, then it was Cam. They was having a party in there, yo. Shout out to Reverend says whenever a life is lost, something very serious. But when it comes to certain type of people, it's guilty until proven innocent, and all offenses have no redemption plan. That's the truth. Says Dart got heart. I agree. Dart is the only reason Daboll still has a job. That is 100%. 100%. CTE is still a secret in the NFL. I don't think it's a secret, right? Everybody knows about CTE, and we've watched certain players and how they've dealt with situations, and how they're trying to deal with things now. I mean, a prime example would be Antonio Brown. It's really, he never came back from that hit. He never came back from that hit. And I think that hit really changed who he is mentally. And we've seen it time and time again. It wasn't just the situation of where he ran off the field when he played with the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. It was multiple situations after that hit where people started raising their eyebrow. What's going on with Antonio Brown? And that's because of the CTE situation. And it's sad. Very sad. Shout out to Lisa's, hey Jay, I'm disgusted with losing and we can't give Matt Stafford all day to throw on Sunday. I'm just going to let you know. I picked up Matt Stafford for my fantasy because I know he about to put in work. I mean, I hope I'm wrong for you, Lisa, but I picked up Matt Stafford because he about to get 300 yards and about 3 touchdowns, and I need all the points I can get this week for fantasy. Shout out to TB Truckin, says he stuck his head in the tent to say Russell Wilson is going to lose us the game. It's Jackson, we need you out here, all right? Russell going to lose us the game. You good? All right, let's go. We can't have this, all right? Russell's out there throwing incompletions. It's real bad. They even booing. See, you hear him booing, you got to get back out here. And listen, Dable doesn't care. If it's $100,000 fine, $50,000 fine, whatever, he'll pay it. He's not going to care about the fine because the Giants won. Now, if they lost, it'd probably be a different story, but he's not going to care about that fine that they give him because they won. So there you go. There you go. Shout out to you guys. So yeah, obviously they'll do their investigation. I don't expect anything big to happen besides a fine. I think that's just the reality of it. And, shout out to Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. Obviously they'll go up against the Eagles again. We'll see how that works out. And, I will say this, if there's a repeat, it's going to be a little crazy. It's going to be a little crazy. With that said, y'all, make sure you hit that like, hit that thumbs up as we keep it going, Next up, and last but not least, before we get into the giveaway for members of the family, Mark Sanchez. Now, this was another story that started off very interesting and pretty much questionable because we all thought that Mark Sanchez was just attacked. He was mauled. He was robbed. It was, Mark Sanchez. I hope he's okay. I hope nothing went wrong. And then we come to find out that it's more to the story. So let's go ahead and get into this one. It says Mark Sanchez, odd night moves before attack. New video reveals timeline. It says Mark Sanchez spent about 20 minutes roaming and at times stumbling around downtown Indianapolis before the violent encounter with his alleged victim. And this new video shows nearly all of his activity. TMZ Sports obtained video surveillance tracking the ex-NFL star from 12:05 a.m. when the alleged victim, Perry Toll, pulled up in his service truck to 12:30 a.m. when Sanchez fled the scene, bloodied from stab wounds. It says when Toll arrives, you see him drive south down the alley, where apparently Sanchez was already on the move. When Toll parks, he's out of the camera view, so we don't know if they see each other, but 7 minutes later, Sanchez walks north out of the alley, stumbling a bit. He's not injured at this point and doesn't seem agitated, as we see here. Sanchez just looks like he's drunkenly wandering as he exits the alley. First off, why is Mark Sanchez out just randomly drunk walking down the street? I get you're an ex-NFL star, you're an analyst now, so you're probably not, you're still in the spotlight pretty much. You're not really in the spotlight all like that, but you're Mark Sanchez, why are you out in the middle of the night drunk walking down the street? We'll keep it going. It says Sanchez walks toward the alley, but doesn't go down it. Instead, he pauses and continues walking very slowly down the street and out of camera view. Nearly 6 minutes later, he comes back and parks himself at the entrance to the alley, simply leaning against the wall for about 2 minutes. This man was gone. You know, like there's buzzed, tipsy, and drunk. And then there's gone. He was gone. So this is when a bystander walks past Sanchez and they appear to speak to each other, but there's no physical interaction. Right after that, Sanchez turns and starts walking down an alley towards a loading dock where Toll is parked. At first, he pauses behind a dumpster and then starts jogging towards Toll's location until he's out of the camera view. Police say this is the time between 12:25 a.m. and 12:30 a.m., 5 minutes, when Sanchez pulled Toll out of his truck, prompting Toll to pepper spray and stab Sanchez, and Sanchez allegedly slammed Toll to the ground, leaving him with a severe facial laceration. Obviously, we see him walking away. He's got blood on his shirt there. Looks like he's been stabbed. It says at 12:30 a.m., the Fox Sports analyst is seen running out of the alley at a pretty good clip considering his injuries. I was going to make a joke. I'm not going to make a joke because this is so... He was running at a pretty good clip. And then starts walking when he reaches the street. You can see his blood-stained shirt at this point. We see that they're checking on the alleged victim here in this frame. It says 7 minutes later, Indianapolis police and the fire department flood the area, putting up crime scene tape and heading down the alley to attend to Toll, who eventually at 12:47 a.m. gets wheeled out on a gurney. Sanchez remains hospitalized with his injuries, but he's already been charged with felony battery involving serious bodily injury, as well as 3 misdemeanors, and faces up to 6 years in prison if convicted. Police say they've seen multiple videos of the actual attack. Once again, can we get those videos? I mean, we got pictures, but can we get the actual video to see what's going on? Why does this situation sound so ridiculous to me? Why would you pull someone out of a truck? Mark? Like what? Like what happened? Now listen, we know that, when you drink too much and people start talking and people get a little rowdy and, get beside themselves. But to pull someone out their truck, you definitely asking for trouble. Man, pepper sprayed, stab mark. Obviously, they're saying it's self-defense. Now we got to wait for the video of this to really confirm the stories and the details. But this one's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it down below. Back to the chat. It says, shout out to you, Lisa. Says, I'm friends with you, Jay, but we need a victory. I get it. Says he stuck his head in to give him that Ike and Tina Turner. Listen, I think there had to be some kind of an exchange, right? There had to be some kind of an exchange. And, the guy in the truck must have said something, right? I just can't see Sanchez hauling off and pulling this man out of a truck for no reason. He's already drunk. He's walking around this area, probably regardless, right? He's drunk. He's walking. Better than driving. I'll say that. Let me just give him some credit there because he wasn't driving. So obviously he's walking, through the city. He's drunk. This guy probably said something from his truck. Sanchez probably took offense to it. Goes up to the truck, pulls him out of there. Probably wanted to fight the guy. And then the situation ensued. He gets pepper sprayed and then stabbed in self-defense. So there you go. We'll see how this goes. We got to wait for the video to obviously come out to get the whole story. But yeah, this really sucks because, Sanchez is an analyst and, he's still heavily involved in NFL. Why are there so many stories about NFL players and crazy, wild situations? Why? We got to do a segment on that. Like the psyche behind NFL players being in these kind of situations. And it's not just CTE. That's just the surface level response. We really got to do like a deep dive and go back. Like I'm talking like the Junior Seau days, Lawrence Taylor, all them kind of, situations. Aaron Hernandez. We really got to like go through the timeline and really try to figure out what goes on in the mind of these players that puts them in these kind of situations. So there you go. Sassy says he was wasted. Definitely wasted. Like if you're in this situation, he was wasted. He was wasted. And listen, I think we've all had a wasted night, but I ain't pull nobody out of truck. I ain't pull nobody out. I was wasted a couple times in my lifetime, and I ain't never pulled nobody out no truck. Mark Sanchez suffers from CTE. Listen, we can't keep going back to the surface level response. That's all I'm saying. Mark Sanchez knows better. He shouldn't have taken that drink and drove in the middle of the night. Well, like I said, he was walking. So maybe, he avoided driving because he was drunk. So like I said, I do give him some credit there. But when you're impaired and when you're sauced up, you don't know what you're doing 98% of the time. Right? This guy could have said, "Hey man, can I have your autograph?" And Mark Sanchez hears it like, "Yo, you want to fight?" And then he's like, "Yeah," and then he goes up to the truck and pulls him out. Like you don't know what's going on when you're drunk. And that's not an excuse, but that's just the reality of it. So we'll see, like I said, we'll see how this plays out. And with him being stabbed and stuff, that kind of sucks for sure though. For sure. Shout out to you, Brian Allen. What up, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Dan in the building says, where's the games? Which would you need to cover? Sunday. We're back to a Sunday. Debate peach cobbler or peach sweet tea. What? It's like debate peach cobbler or sweet peach tea. I mean, there's no debate. I wouldn't drink both. I wouldn't drink I wouldn't drink peach sweet tea and eat peach cobbler at the same time. That's too much sugar. You got to pick and choose your battles, yo. You had that peach cobbler, you need to have you some water with it. You have that sweet tea, you need to be eating some dinner or lunch or something like that. You can't be eating the peach cobbler and drinking peach sweet tea together. You talk about a sugar rush? No. Diabetic coma? No. One at a time. But which is better? I got to go peach cobbler. I mean, I feel like peach sweet tea is only like you got to be in the mood for it. I could eat peach cobbler every day. Peach sweet tea, though, I can't drink that every day. Give me that like once in a blue moon. Like it's super hot. And I just want to, get some tea. And give me that peach sweet tea, And I didn't have much sugar for the day, so it makes sense. So there you go. Shout out to Brian Allen, says CTE, crime time entertainment. Yo, that could be a whole segment for like every situation that's ever happened, yo. Every situation that's ever happened. Called the crime time entertainment, the story of Aaron Hernandez. Like I said, we'll break it down. We'll break it down because it's kind of crazy, for sure. But yeah, on a serious note, this Mark Sanchez situation is really surprising. Overall, I hope that him and the victim are okay, and I'm sure we'll figure out. They'll figure out the situation, and then we'll probably get the real tape soon, and then we'll break that down. We'll break that down as well. Mark Sanchez should not argue with the cop or he'll lose every time. I agree. Once again, when certain names hit the media, there is more money to be first to break the news without truly fact-checking journalists, and journalism is and have lost their integrity. You know what? It's true. And it puts me into an awkward position, right? Because when am I allowed to talk about a story or a situation, right? If everybody's talking about it, from, and not just, the regular YouTubers and the low level journalists, but if ABC's talking about it, Fox News, CNN, ESPN, it's this huge story. At what point do you not talk about it to give your opinion if you're in this kind of work? Right? How thorough can you really be if you don't have all the facts? If you don't have all the video, if you don't have all the eyewitness story, right? So everyone's waiting for this information. And that's why you get bits and pieces of, the truth opposed to having the whole story. And that goes for everything. It's not just sports and entertainment. It's life events, it's politics, it's weather, it's everything that is reported comes to you in bits and pieces. And you never get the full story until a month later. Sometimes even a year later, depending on how severe or how intricate the situation is. So, there you go. There you go. Christmas or New Year's? Christmas. I think Christmas is the one, right? Because if you take away, not take away, but New Year's is like, oh, it's a new year. It's another year where I'm getting older, right? Christmas, it's all about, the Lord's Day and watching the kids be excited and open up gifts and having dinner with the family and, watching football and, just enjoying life. New Year's Day, you done had some drinks the night before. You're most likely hungover or close to it. You don't want nobody to call you. And then people be crying, people be crying, talking about their New Year's resolution. Then everybody goes and signs up for a gym membership and they go for like a week and then they stop going. It's crazy. I hate New Year's Day. I hate it. I don't like it because it's just fluff. You have to treat every day like it's New Year's or it's a new day. Not wait until January 1 and be like, you know what? I'm going to get up on January 1 and I'm going to go do 30 push-ups and change my health and my life, my situation. Instead of waking up tomorrow morning and going to Whole Foods and going to get broccoli, you're like, you know what? For New Year's, I'm really going to go on that diet I've been thinking about. I hate New Year's. I hate it. Absolutely hate it, yo. So you should see Twitter. They're all investigators and media peeps now. It's a hot mess. Sassy, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said, I try to do a lot better than what I used to as far as, getting the information and compiling it and going and checking out multiple different sources. But even then, it's never going to be 100%. And so that's why, I had to come back and follow up on the Kyren Lacy story and, say basically we were all wrong as far as, villainizing this young man because we didn't have all the facts. It's sad. So you have to come back, close to almost a year later about this story that could have been clear cut if the video was out and we could have had more information about it. So, Color Rush jersey raffles this season, Jay. It's possible. We might. We'll see. Predictions for weeks 7 through 8. Y'all want quick predictions? Should we do quick predictions? I have not had time, but we could do quick predictions if y'all want. If y'all want your boy Jay to do it, make it to a quick video. All right, week 6. All right, yeah, we'll do week 6 predictions. Like I said, I've been super busy, and in fact, when I'm done with the live, I got to get back to work. That's how your boy Jay is on it. Definitely on it. Okay. Let me hop into the chat before we get into this one. So sometimes the media twists everything around. That's a fact. 100%. And then the story gets so watered down that it's not even remotely close to the truth. Not at all. You have to fact check the fact check. Yeah, exactly. It's the microwave of world news. It will never be as good as the slow cook process, but who has the time to wait? Exactly. Who has the time to wait? And with this world or with the society of I need it right now, I need it right now, I have to process it right now, I need it right now, right now, right now. If you were around YouTube back in like 2006 to maybe 2010, it was a different place, right? I wasn't doing sports back then. I had my hand in like tech and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing on YouTube. But if you were around back then and you watched videos, everything was long form. There wasn't no shorts. The whole idea of a minute vertical video didn't exist back then. Nobody had that attention span. And so you fast forward to right around 2020, when that micro content started coming into play, a 1 minute video to cram all this. There's no way that you can cram all the information that you need to into a 1 minute video. But yet you've got people on TikTok and Twitter cramming a year's worth of information into a 1 minute video. It's not possible. But that's the way the society is now. So what do we do? I mean, I give mostly long form. To be honest, I don't even like shorts. I like shorts if we're doing like highlight plays, right? It's a 1 minute video of a play, and I give a reaction to it, and it's fun, it's cool. But like for like serious information or specific topics that require thinking, because we know people don't really want to think nowadays. But for topics that require thinking, I want to be able to talk about it for a while. That way I can process the information and you can process the information, and we can actually talk about it over a lengthy period of time so that we can learn from it or learn about it. So there you go. There you go. All right. Let's get into these predictions, y'all. Week 6. All right. Giants take it 34-17. After that, we've got the Broncos and the Jets. This is an interesting one, right? Broncos and Jets, you've got the spread 6.5. Over under is 43.5. Denver is favored on the road. That defense is very strong. The Jets are seriously in a dire need of a win. I think it's going to be a good battle, but that Broncos defense is very strong. Bo Nix is on a mission, proving himself this season. I'm going to go ahead and take Denver by the points there by 7. After that, it's going to be the Cardinals and the Colts. Daniel Jones, right? He's coming up in the world. He's a star now for the Colts. The Cardinals having their issues and problems as an overall team. As far as a team favored, Colts spread is 6.5, over under 47.5. I'm fine with going with the home team there with the Colts and Danny Dimes. After that, it's going to be the Chargers and Miami. What are we supposed to say about Miami at this point? Right? Tyreek Hill's out. Yeah, we get Waddle's there. Waller's out as well, or he's questionable at least. And, are you really going to put your faith in Tua? Does it seem like he even cares about football anymore? I think Mike McDaniels is pretty much on his way out. Go ahead and give me the Chargers. After that, it's going to be New England and New Orleans. Saints and the Patriots. As far as the spread for this one, you've got New England favored by 3.5. Spencer Rattler is an interesting quarterback, right? He's shifty. He can make plays. He's efficient. And there's really not too much tape on him, so that's why he's had the success that he has. But on the flip side, you have renewed success in these Patriots. We've seen what they did against the Bills. Can it be replicated on the road? We've seen that the Saints gave the Bills a hard time. So, this is another one of those games that's probably going to be very close. It will come down probably to a field goal, as Vegas is saying. So I'd be fine with going with New England and that one by 3. After that, it's going to be the Browns in Pittsburgh. Obviously, you're going to have the rookie Gabriel for the Browns. Pittsburgh, you still got Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf. As far as the spread there, it's going to be the Steelers by 6.5. I'm fine with that. Take it by a touchdown. And then get into Cowboys and the Panthers. Dak Prescott, you still have no CeeDee Lamb. You got Williams. I like Williams. He's a tank. He's been balling. On the flip side, we've seen what happened with the Panthers. 200 yards on the ground. Where they do that at? So, and we know that this Dallas defense ain't been the same. They've been allowing teams to score. And yeah, they'll rack up the score, but they've also been allowing teams to score high as well. But I'm going to give Dak the benefit of the doubt. I think they'll pull it out offensively. So go ahead and give them give me Dak and the Cowboys for 7. As far as Seattle and Jacksonville put up a strong fight, but that's not to deny Seattle and that team with Darnold. As far as the spread there, you're looking at 1.5 for Seattle. They're calling it a close one. Give me Jacksonville in that one. Titans and the Raiders. I mean, what could go wrong in this one? You've got Geno, you've got Cam Ward. I mean, Cam is looking a little better. Geno needs a win desperately. He needs to play better. This is going to be a hot mess. Once again, Vegas at home. They're favored by 3.5. Please just get the ball to Jacoby Myers. You get the ball to Jacoby Myers, let him make a play. Use Brock. You might win the game. Give me the Raiders. After that, it's going to be the Bengals and Green Bay. This is one where it's a question mark because Green Bay is kind of on fraud alert, right? We're not sure of this offense fully yet. The defense has been very good for the most part, right? But also on the flip side, Flacco's in town now. Flacco's in town, and now things change. You've got Higgins, you've got Chase, but that offensive line is a problem. So are you going to be able to get them the ball? This is why there's a question mark for this game. But as far as the spread goes, you got Green Bay by 13.5. Vegas is saying, nah, Jay, it's going to be a blowout. The over-under is 44.5. So, yeah, it's most likely going to be one of those games where you're going to have someone try to make a significant play, and it may come down to the wire. Now, my big problem is the question mark on Joe Flacco. Is he going to be able to move that ball efficiently? Is that offensive line going to give him time to get the ball to the receivers that he needs to? If they can, they stay in the game. If they can't, obviously Green Bay gets a blowout. So I think Vegas is predicting that Joe Flacco is going to have a tough time behind that offensive line. With that said, the safe bet would be Green Bay by 7, and I'm fine with taking Green Bay by that 7. After that, it's going to be San Fran and Tampa Bay. San Fran and Tampa Bay. As far as this one, boy, I really, really like Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield, he's been nothing short of stellar this season. He's proven himself. He's got that dog in him. And on the flip side, Brock Purdy's back, so this gets a little crazy, right? Gets a little interesting. Obviously, San Francisco has some issues with, injuries and things like that. Purcell's out. You've got Kittle still out. So, yeah, with Tampa Bay, they're at home. It's going to be a good one to spread there, 3.5. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with taking Tampa Bay by a field goal. As far as the Lions in Kansas City, y'all. Kansas City's 2-3. Lions are on the move. And Jared Goff is playing MVP level football. And when you put Montgomery and Gibbs and in that backfield and they get to work, you are in trouble. And we know that Kansas City has been having some very difficult problems when it comes to that run game. Now, obviously, the Lions have more than just the run game. They got the pass game as well. So you're at home, Kansas City. Can you beat the Lions and keep yourself in good shape? Or what conversation are we having if the Lions beat Kansas City at home when KC is favored by 2.5? Over under is 52.5 points. So that tells you right then and there what kind of game this should be. High scoring, back and forth potentially, close game. But I've been saying it since the start of the season. I said it in preseason. I don't think Kansas City's making it to the playoffs. Give me the Lions by a touchdown. As far as Monday, October 13th, you got two lineups for a Monday night. You got the Bills in Atlanta. Bills are favored by 4.5. The comeback game, obviously, against the comeback game from losing against the Patriots. I think the Bills are going to ball out on the road against Atlanta. We'll see how they do. Over-under is 49.5 there. I'm going to take my Bills, you know that, by 7. As far as Bears and Commanders, this is one that gets really good because Jaden Daniels is back. You've got Caleb Williams balling. Obviously, we know that, you know, the Bears have had some troubles and had some issues, but they've been keeping things looking good. So, yeah, with this one, for me, it's a toss-up. I'm going to lean towards the Commanders being at home, though. Daniels being back. You know, McLaurin obviously being out, but they're going to mix it up for sure. I do think that this is one where the run game is going to become a big problem for the Bears as far as with Daniels and Robinson there. So there you go. Give me the Commanders by a touchdown. So there it is. That's your Week 6 predictions. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. There you go. Since Ravens have a bye week in Week 7, yeah, teams that have a bye week this week is Minnesota and Houston for Week 6. And yeah, Ravens have a bye week 7, so Lamar is going to have a little bit more time to rest and get back to it. So, this is a Cowboys fanatic. I would say Cowboys run defense is horrible. It's going to be another shootout. And that's why I said that. I think you're looking at Dak to put up another, 35 to 40 points, just in case it gets that crazy, because the run defense is terrible. And we've seen what the Panthers have been able to do on the ground without Hubbard. And so if you can't stop that, it's going to be a big problem. Big problem for sure. For sure. Golfer with Mahomes? Right now. Right now. Ryan says NFL not letting KC lose 2 in a row. Listen, it's not about the NFL letting KC lose 2 in a row. We're starting to see the inconsistencies in Patrick Mahomes. You're throwing goal line pick sixes. You're throwing goal line interceptions that's ran back for a touchdown, right? So there's coaches right now watching tape on Patrick and finding those little inconsistencies and adjusting their defense to make those kind of plays moving forward, right? Xavier Worthy, you can kind of tell that he's still having his issues from the injury. Travis Kelce isn't prime Travis Kelce anymore. So you're expecting Brown to come out. You're expecting Gray to come out. You're expecting Rice to come out. But at the same time, I don't think that offense has the chemistry that they need to. I think that went out the window. And so now Patrick Mahomes is trying to find it again coming into, basically the middle, well, not the mid, but, Week 6, getting into the middle of the season, and it's still not there. And that's why I've been saying it. It's not a real dig. It's not because I hate Kansas City. I really just don't see how they get themselves out of this hole. And to speak about the division, the Chargers look way better. They look way better. Justin Herbert's playing great football. And, so it changes things up. And obviously you got, Bo Nix and the Broncos now shaking things up a little bit. There's a lot going on, and it's not in Kansas City's favor. So this Lions going to have their chance to win and may miss it by a turnover or misuse of clock management. I'm not sure about Dan Campbell having issues with clock management. I will say he's more, the word I'm looking for is he's more of a risk taker, right? So if the Lions lose that game, it's because Dan Campbell was too risky. I think he's going to have to be a little bit more conservative in his risk-taking ways, and that will be the difference of whether or not they win that game. He's going to have to play smart, more smart, and less risky. So there you go. There you go. All right, y'all. Members of the family. Let's get to it real quick before we wrap this up. We're doing a giveaway. 3 members of the family will receive a prize. And what we're going to do is you guys pick a number. Now, don't do it now, not in the chat. Do it on the video after, right? This is just for members of the family. We'll have another giveaway for the subscribers next week. Members of the family, pick a number and leave it in the comments after the live stream is over. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to run it through the randomizer. I'll do that live on a members only stream so that you guys can see who won. But pick a number. First prize is going to be this Josh Allen 109 Funko Pop and a Dalton Kincaid Prism rookie card. So that's going to be first prize. Second prize will be rated rookie portrait of Marvin Mims for the Broncos. Puka Nacua Prism rookie card for the Rams. Prismatic rookie card of Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions. And then a number to 162 rookie card for Odell Beckham Jr. It's a great card. Really thick card too. So nice little card if you're an Odell Beckham fan, if you're a Giants fan. And then for third place, Luke Musgrave rated rookie card. Marvin Mims rated rookie, red wave. Rashee Rice rookie card on the Prism. And then a rated rookie Quentin Johnston red wave for the Chargers. So those are the prizes for the 3 family members. Like I said, after the live is over, choose a number. I will do a randomizer video for you guys for the members only. So you'll have to check on that video, see who won. I'll try to notify you in the chat. But you guys will get that update for that video tomorrow. So pick a number after the live is over. Drop it in the chat. No, not the chat. In the comments below the live after it's over. And we'll run the randomizer. And obviously the top 3 will get one of those prizes. Very simple. Very simple. Shout out to you, Big T. What up, man? What's going on to you? What's going on with you, Big T in the building? Who's your PC? Josh Allen. My personal collect. Come on now. RPAs. RPAs only. Let's go. We should be shocked if KC got home home field this year. It's not going to happen. If they do make it to the playoffs, the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through another team, without a doubt. Jay, I'm not happy about Owe going to the Chargers. We're going to see more crazy trades as this season goes by. Believe you me. Before the trade deadline, it's going to get a little crazy. Speaking of trades, Flacco with the Bengals. That's going to be the hype this weekend. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I thought it was going to be Russell Wilson, but now I see why it wasn't Russell Wilson. I sat there. I was like, yo, it's going to be Russell Wilson, and they picked up Flacco. So I think Russell Wilson might be done. Because when Dart went down, he was supposed to make it at least get a first down, right? Just get one first down and keep the people calm, and then obviously secure your future somewhere else. But to, already be on the sideline, be on the bench, and you throw an incompletion, you have a 3-and-out. I think Russell Wilson's done. I think he's done. So, do you think the Ravens season is over if they lose against the Rams? No, it's too early. It's too early. We've seen situations where the Bengals have had slow starts, and then they came back towards the end of the season and ended up in the playoffs. Now, it hasn't always happened, but we've seen situations where teams, get it together towards the end of the season, and then, they show up in the wild card, and, they play some good football. So I don't write anybody off at this point. Obviously, everything's speculation, but it's far from any team really being out of it unless you're maybe like the Jets. Sorry, Big T. I'm just saying, you see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, Raiders, Jets, who else? Who am I missing out on? Doing terrible. Panthers, Miami. I mean, we just, like I said, we're not done yet. We got a lot of football. A lot of football. So there you go. Family members, make sure that you pick a number. Let me give you the numbers. 1 through 15. 1 through 15. Pick a number 1 through 15. And we'll do the randomizer. I will drop that video live for you guys tomorrow so you can see who won the prizes. And then that's how we'll do it. So much love to the Wrench Gang. Much love to the family. All the listeners, all the watchers, I do appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with your boy on a Friday night. We'll get back to doing these. This was fun. We'll get back to doing this. Like I said, I've been super busy with work. Like I said, when I'm done with this, I got to get back to it. Once I'm basically done with work, we can get back to doing these almost every night as we get into these stories, break things down, talk sports, talk life, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one. Make sure, family members, make sure you leave your comment in the comments after the live is over. Pick a number 1 through 15. Have a good night.